If you're an in-house lawyer and if you're interested at all in how AI is being implemented in in-house teams, both now and how it's likely to be implemented in the future, then I think this video will be useful to you. What I'm going to look at today is 7 levels of AI implementation. You can look at where you are in the process and where I think things are going. Now, my name is Richard Nicholas. I'm a technology lawyer. I've been doing technology work for the last 25 years. I did my first AI project back in 2015. And since then, I've been working with in-house teams at various different businesses to get them up to speed with AI, both in terms of using it themselves, but also in terms of the governance and data and other legal issues with having AI in the business. So, what are the 7 levels of AI implementation? And more importantly, how can you put this to work for yourselves? One of the things I'm going to be suggesting to you today is that below this video, you will find something that is entirely free and will take you to level 3 if you choose to go there. And that, as I say, is entirely free, and we'll look at what that is in a moment. So I'm suggesting there are 7 levels of AI implementation. And the very starting point, if you've moved in-house as the first in-house lawyer in a new business, then probably what you'll find is that you're doing a lot of the work manually. You're doing everything from scratch. It is as if everything is being done for the first time. You're being reactive rather than proactive. The knowledge that you gain lives in your head, in the knowledge you gain about the business. And that means that when you leave, of course, the business loses that knowledge. Any person who leaves takes the knowledge they've gained with them. Every contract review starts from scratch, and every handoff from one person to another requires a conversation between those people. So it can take quite a long time for people to get up to speed, and it can take a long time for the business to recover from someone leaving. Clearly not a great situation, but often the case where you've got a first in-house lawyer, but after the lawyer's been there for some time, then typically what most in-house teams will do is they'll put together processes and playbooks and that sort of thing, and they'll set out how the business should instruct them, the sorts of deals they'll deal with and those that should be dealt with by somebody else. They'll look at the types of positions that the business often takes, and they'll work out clause libraries. Often they'll create playbooks. And what happens now is that the business is much more productive, an order of magnitude more productive, because it takes much less time for someone coming into the business to get up to speed. The person leaving the business doesn't affect the business quite as much because there's an institutional memory there. People know the positions that were taken because they're written down. But it still requires each contract to be reviewed by a lawyer one at a time. Now, many well-established in-house teams are at this level 2. But of course, what we've been able to do ever since 2024 in particular is to start to use AI within these processes. So as well as playbooks, you may also have prompts. You may have entire processes broken down into prompts that the AI can use to get things done. So the AI might handle the drafts, the research, it can carry out clause extraction, it can do first drafts of contracts. And it means a single lawyer can do a considerable amount more work. A single lawyer can do the work of the whole team. And what starts to happen is you can get much more done. You can get maybe 10 contracts a day done. Research takes a lot less time. You're just checking that the AI got it right. And one lawyer plus the AI can do the work of an entire team. So again, an order of magnitude more productive. Now, if you're not at this stage yet, what you'll find in the link below is training that will get you to this stage, and also a large number of workflows. So long prompts, effectively, whole processes broken down into individual prompts that you can put into your preferred large language model, and you can get work done. And you'll see how to do that with the prompts that you've got, but also the training sets out how to create those prompts for yourself, how to break down a process and create a workflow from that process. And as I say, that is entirely free of charge. But of course, this is level 3. What comes after AI assistance? Well, there is another level which has been available since the end of December 2025, going into 2026, which is the use of legal agents. Now, the agent is different to the workflow. That's because this is when the AI can actually take decisions and start to work on matters itself. Doesn't wait for instructions necessarily. It can read through the playbook, review the contract, flag variations, and deliver a finished memo or a markup or whatever you need. And the good news is it can do this without your inputs, which means that you can set it a task overnight, and in the morning it will have reviewed 30 contracts. And those will be ready for you to check and to send out. This considerably increases the number of the amount of work that you can get done in a day, because the AI is doing much more of that work for you. Creating an agent is relatively straightforward. Again, it's something I can show you how to do. And if you're interested in doing that, there's a number below where we can set up a call, and I can show you how to create agents for yourself. But I said there were more stages. Once you've created one agent, of course, there's nothing to prevent you creating several agents. And actually, when you start to create multiple agents, what can happen is you can run those multiple agents in parallel. So imagine you've got 10 things in your to-do list. Well, you can create 10 agents, one of which does each of those 10 things, and it does all of them work in parallel at the same time. And what you're doing then is you're, as a single person, single GC, managing what used to take an entire department to get done. So then again, it is another jump in productivity, because you're deploying an entire swarm of agents over your business. You're not asking one agent to do one thing at one time. You're getting multiple agents to do multiple things all at the same time. And again, this can be done 24 hours a day. It can be done overnight, which means that you get to work on the time that you choose, and the agents will do the bulk of the work for the deadline, for the deadline that's required. Now, some businesses are at this stage. Very few legal teams are currently at this stage, but it is a natural progression from having one agent to having multiple agents. And I'm going to suggest that is possible for anyone who would like to create that. Now, beyond that, once you have a swarm of agents, what you need is something that will control those agents, something that can orchestrate those agents. Imagine a human conductor in an orchestra telling the individual agents what to do. It can actually deploy, look at what's needed in the morning. We'll deploy resources accordingly, spin up the right swarms of agents that can fix the problem, and we'll monitor the quality of output from those agents. Again, this is before you even open your laptop. Your role then becomes governance, making sure that it is consistent with policy, making sure that it's doing the right thing. But the agents are self-deploying. So now you've got swarms of agents being deployed according to the wishes of the orchestrating agent, this orchestrating layer. And again, there are some businesses that are starting to do this. I've not seen any legal teams doing this, but it is the next stage. And finally, level 7, which I haven't seen any business do as yet, but is surely only a matter of time, where you have a self-governing team. This is where the system doesn't just execute, it actually sets its own goals, allocates its own budget, hires its own agents, and improves its own processes. It will identify regulatory changes and adapt to them, and the legal function effectively becomes a living system. Living in the sense that it evolves over time, it finds risks and deals with those risks. This is the ultimate goal, and perhaps the ultimate level from the previous levels. We don't know what this looks like yet because we're not at this stage. But again, it's another leap in productivity. At that point, perhaps as an in-house lawyer, you actually own the business that is carrying out the work. Now, all of this might sound like a level of science fiction, effectively. However, we know already that levels 1, 2, and 3 are achievable. Many in-house teams are doing that. Level 4, 5, and 6 are also achievable. Level 4 is easily achievable. Level 5 takes more work. Level 6 takes considerably more work. But levels 1 to 3 still make a huge difference. And what I'm going to suggest to you is, if you are still at level 1, still doing things manually, or if you're at level 2, doing things manually with checklists or clause banks and that sort of thing, or even if you're at level 3, starting to use prompts, what I'm going to suggest to you is, if you go to the button below, what that will take you to is a page where you will find several things set up. And this will set up an account for you entirely free of charge. This is an account that has this is training that has been given to various businesses: Meta, Microsoft, Amazon, Google, Accenture, etc. And what you will find there is, as well as description of what we've just been through, you'll also find training. Now, training takes you from grey belt to black belt. Each one of those training sessions covers a new skill when it comes to AI, and it takes you through the process of breaking down a process in the legal team and actually applying AI to it. And as you might imagine, it goes from relatively straightforward processes to actually carrying out the work of an entire department. You get that training, and that training is free. You'll also get 891 workflows, where those workflows have been created already. And the reason for this is, the right thing to do is to learn how to do this for yourself. However, the benefit you will see is by using the output, using the workflows themselves. So what you'll find is there are a large number of workflows, all of which you can access free of charge. That includes a chief legal officer, which means that you can look at creating a risk register, creating a design memo, doing a legal update to the board, doing a legal transformation map, all that sort of thing. All of these are downloadable workflows. So effectively a very long prompt that just takes the process from start to finish. And again, all of that is free of charge. All you need to do is to get started free. Why are we doing this? Well, once you start to see the benefit of moving from level 1 to level 3, there's a very good chance that you'll want to go further. And when you want to go further, I am here. You'll find my details on the link below as well. And I can show you how to get to the higher levels, to level 4, to level 5, and so on. All it takes is a little bit of patience, a little bit of learning how to use AI to get real work done. And if you're willing to put in the work, you will start to see the benefits very, very quickly from this training. As I say, it is entirely free. take a look now, and I hope to see you once you've had the chance to go through it. Hopefully we'll speak soon.